Hi, it's Marilyn Devonish here from transformationstm.com, and I just thought I'd say a few words about this treatment for, it's not just back pain, neck, hips, calves, shins, thighs, you name it, wherever it is in the body. He says it's particularly good for things like frozen shoulder, where people have lost power and muscle and strength in the body, particularly a lot of people with the legs. Oftentimes, he said it's best for people with chronic pain where they've tried everything else and nothing has worked. Then this is the thing to do. And so what you can see on screen here now is my before and after picture. And so this was after a treatment, probably of about 45 minutes. I will admit it's felt like 45 hours because the treatment itself it does actually hurt. I've already said to my membership group, don't be under any illusion. It's painful. But the net result of that, what happens after that, is quite, dramatic, miraculous, whatever word you want to put on it. And for me, for those of you who see me out and about, you will have no idea that I've got any issues with my neck, my back, anything like that, because it's not something that I allow to rule my life. I just get on and do what I'm doing, including, pole fitness 4 or 5 years ago, ballet that I've been doing for the last 3 years. I just get on with stuff. However, when I was I was kind of 19, 20, maybe 21, something like that, I was in a car accident and it wasn't properly treated. And so I ended up in a neck brace. And so, I just wore the neck brace. That was it. Didn't do anything else. Wore it for a bit. Thought, oh, I'm better now. And that was it. Didn't give it another thought. Then about 7 years later, my neck just seized up. And I remember I had met a new boyfriend. We're staying at his place in Bristol, and we're just out and about. And I went, and I just kind of felt a little twitch first. I went, ow, and he went, you all right? And then literally after that, my ear ended up on my shoulder, and I could not move. I was just like, I was like that for pretty much the whole weekend. And it was a Saturday. Well, it was a Friday night when it first kind of started to go, and I was like, I really can't move this thing. I really can't move. I don't know what's going on. And then because it was a Friday night, there were no osteopaths open, so he spent the Saturday morning just trying to find an osteopath. Finally found someone who said they could see us on the Saturday. And so went along and saw the osteopath on the Saturday, but I basically walked around like that for the whole weekend until I kind of saw this osteopath. And since that time, because he said what had happened over the intervening 7 years is that one side had overstretched, one side had contracted, and the body does its best to try and correct itself. So it was trying to overcorrect to get me back into alignment, given that I'd never been properly treated when I first had the car accident. And just over a period of time, the muscles had developed, out of sync, and then every once in a while it would go. And so it's something I've had to be aware of. I do get the thing where my neck will lock up, my shoulders will lock up, my back will kind of lock up. And so I have a great osteopath that I've been seeing for the past 18 years. And the thing that intrigued me about this, and I had shared a post about a week ago, I had watched a couple of videos about this treatment, and one of the women in the video, she said, I've lost 20 kilos and I feel great and I've got my mobility back. And in the video, she couldn't bend down even to touch her knees, much less the floor. And in the video, she bent down and I'm like, Dad, get out of here. Although I knew it was true because I trust the person who told me about it, but you're still kind of like, really? Really? Can that really happen? And so then when I did my treatment with my back, and I'm often saying to my ballet teacher, because there's a lot of stuff you can imagine in ballet. I mean, I never did ballet as a child. I never did gymnastics. So I don't have that sort of natural flexibility that somebody who has danced for many years has got. But that aside, even so, because I'm into my 3rd year now, in terms of some of the moves that I've wanted to do, I just have not been able to do them because I haven't got that flexibility where I haven't, because a lot of it is about, if you watch ballet, it's about the back and it's about the flexibility and, looking up and la la la, and I could barely look up at the ceiling. And so to be able to do that, and the guy who did the treatment, he said, oh, bend back now, let me see how far you can go. And I bent back and he went, oh, and he said, I've never seen anyone even bend back that far. And he thought I was going to fall backwards. So it was actually quite miraculous. Also, in terms of my shoulder, because I'd shown some of you the picture, I just wanted to start giving people the heads up that it is a little bit painful. Well, actually, that's a lie. My brain is like, don't lie to the people, Marilyn, it frickin' hurts. But that was my shoulder after the, actually, I don't know if you'll be able to see on camera, but that's my shoulder now. So you can see it's much better. It's kind of pretty much all healed. There we go. So that's my shoulder now. And that was, today is Saturday if you're watching this in real time. That was on Thursday. So that's what, 2 days ago. And he said the rate, and it's not bruising. That's the thing that, because I was like, aren't you just bruising people with this treatment? But when I could watch what he was doing with me, when he did my thigh, for example, I could see what was happening there, and it's not bruising. And what's happening is it's bringing up what he called the kind of congealed and dry blood. So if you've had trauma, so I had trauma from whiplash, what happens is muscle tears, it bleeds, etc., etc. If that then congealed and dry blood just stays there, what it does is it starts blocking the muscle and its ability to move and to function as it should, and to get new blood flow. And so one of the things with my lower back, my osteopath has said to me a year ago, he said, if you still do pole fitness, then do the thing where you hang upside down. For those of you who do pole, it's called the crucifix, because he said you're not getting enough blood flow to the lower back, which is why then it's spasming and locking up. And so what this treatment it brings all of the old toxins and all of the dried blood to the surface. So what you're seeing is the dried blood potentially from that trauma, what would be 30 years ago now, brings all of that out of the muscle, and the muscle can then function again as it is supposed to. So just thought I'd give you a kind of a little, heads up on that one. So for those of you who are in my membership group, because what's going to happen, well, the idea that came into my head, and I was actually joking about it a couple of weeks ago on Facebook, and a couple of days ago to a friend. I said, I seem to have the ability to just chat to people, hear what they do, and be able to just create a workshop or a workbook or a structure and a format to what they do. Now, the guy who did my treatment has never run workshops or anything like that. But after I met him on Wednesday at 4:47 p.m. I know the time because I got off a train. Did my full treatment on Thursday. By Thursday afternoon, I had the idea for a workshop, and I thought, oh, I don't know if he'd be up for it. So asked him about it on Thursday night. He was like, yeah. So with less than 24 hours after speaking to him, I'd written some copy, if you want to put it that way, put it on Facebook. And in terms of people, he said, not just said yes, but said, I am definitely interested in doing a treatment. It was pretty much sold out in less than 24 hours. And then when we were driving back yesterday, so I've mapped out how I think the workshop would go and what I think we should include, the order and sequence of doing it, what we could put in a little guidebook or an ebook or a white paper PDF, etc., in like record time. So I'm now smiling, going, actually, maybe I should do that also for a living, is if people have got ideas and something amazing, but they haven't yet structured it, then working with them just to pull those ideas out of them and reformat them into something. So for those of you who have been on the previous conversation threads, we've talked about the potential of doing a workshop next month, probably going to be the 23rd and or 24th of the month. The way it will go, we'll do a workshop in the morning where we'll talk about what the treatment is, how it works, why it works, show you, how it works in practice. He'll probably take a demo volunteer so we can all see how that works. And then for the afternoon portion, he will do individual treatments for people. And so what he said, if it's something really localized and very specific, something like a frozen shoulder, oftentimes that can be done in just the one treatment. Other times, like for me, it was pain chasing, because, I know already from my osteopathic history that when my neck locks up, it's most likely my hip or my knee. So the body doesn't just work in isolation. So sometimes a few more kind of treatments are required, but a lot of the times, and for those of you who are just joining me later, let me put that picture up again. This was just after one treatment. just working on the back, and then we, you know, incorporating later on did the neck and all the rest of it. But that is how it goes. So for those of you who are on the thread, what I'm going to do, I've got a membership group, and today is Sharing Saturday. So I've got 7 themes that run throughout the month. We've got start the month with Motivation Monday, which is something to get people motivated, inspired for the month ahead. We've got Tarot Tuesday, which is everyone's favorite day of the week, where I do angel tarot card readings for anyone who would like an individual reading. We've got Wisdom Wednesday, and this kind of fits into Wisdom Wednesday because this treatment is about 3,000 years old, and I'm just sharing kind of ancient wisdom, or, you know, things that I think are quite profound, but distilling it in such a way that people can just apply it straight away without having to reinvent the wheel or read everything themselves and do all the research. Because, you know, I might spend anything from 2 to 10 hours researching these subjects and then distilling it for you. We've got Think Tank Thursday, which is a Facebook live session again, as is Tarot Tuesday, where you can ask questions about anything you like. So it's more like a management consultancy session. We've got Focus Friday that comes at the end of the month in terms of focus for the month ahead and also doing a recap. And then we've got today, which is Sharing Saturday, where I share cool, crazy, amazing stuff that I have found with the group. And then we finish off with Soul Food Sunday, which is something, you know, food for the soul. And so March 2017, I shared with you guys the belly button healing. And I thought that was pretty profound in terms of the impact of the belly button healing and what it did in terms of stopping the regularity of the cramping up and the stiffness in the neck and the joints and that sort of thing. And I've been doing that now for coming up to 2 years, and it is absolutely incredible and amazing. And I call it the 3-minute healing miracle, because it really just takes 3 minutes a day to do. But the changes were profound. And so this is almost like next level Sharing Saturday now. And so for those of you who are in my Facebook membership group, if you're watching this or watching the recording and you haven't yet been into the group today, what I did last night, so it'll be there for the morning, is I posted a video of the treatment, so you can actually see the treatment in action. What I'm going to do, because you can only do 5 or 6 sessions, so what I'm going to do as a Sharing Saturday piece, the first opportunity to book the individual sessions will go to my membership group. Then, and the workshop, so because I'm going to do it half and half, so you can either just come to the workshop just to learn what it's all about, and then you have the option just to leave, or you can stay for the afternoon session and do a treatment yourself. And so what I'm going to do he's flying home, I think it's tomorrow. So he just needs to look at his schedule, make sure he can do the days that we're looking at. But as soon as I've got the go ahead from him on the dates, he also needs to find a cat sitter. Actually, so if any of you are in Spain and you know someone who could look after a cat, let me know. So once that's confirmed, but what I'll do when I've got the date sorted out and I've created the Eventbrite page, the link will go first into my membership group. So you get first dibs on the sessions. And then once I've done that, I can see what's left, and I can then put it out more publicly into the general public. And then you have the choice of coming to the workshop or coming to the workshop and having a treatment if there's time for more treatments. But yeah, so it's not for the faint-hearted. One of the things he said is his normal clientele are people who are in chronic pain. They're living with constant, you know, pain. They've tried everything else and nothing has worked. And he said it's you know, brilliant also for people who are bodybuilders. Also, he said builders and laborers and sportsmen and women, because they are kind of preconditioned to just, you know, grit their teeth and just keep going, just keep banging on, just keep drilling on and working through the pain. And that's where the no pain, no gain is actually quite dangerous, because you're probably, you know, a lot of the times they're damaging the body. So he said it's brilliant for people who are in those kind of industries. But, you know, when I was there with him this week, you know, had a mother of 4 who came in for a treatment, had a father who had lost kind of mobility and one of his legs came in for a treatment, and he said after the treatment, he said, try and lift your leg now. And the guy was even surprised at how high his leg went. So, you know, yeah, so I just say the key thing is you've tried everything else, nothing has really worked in resolving the issue and healing. And he doesn't call it healing per se. I'm calling it treatment or session, because he said what he's doing, once you clear the toxins and the congealed blood out of the muscle, it can then regenerate itself and operate the way it is supposed to work. So he's restoring people to what you might call your natural blueprint. One of the things that he said a couple of times, he said, you know, restoring you to the muscles and the definition that you had when you were 19 years old. And so when he comes back, I'm definitely doing another session for me. Oh my God, it was so painful. There were times I just had to say to him, I cannot take anymore. Give me like 3 seconds just to breathe and go again. But one of the things that he said in terms of, you know, fat and cellulite and all of that sort of stuff, when he's doing the treatment on the legs and on the thighs, people will then find that they naturally lose weight and they get their muscle definition back. So never mind the kind of the Botoxing and the liposuctioning. This is putting your body back into a state where it can start doing those things naturally. Sorry, I'm just seeing loads of messages pop up here, so I'm just having a quick look-see. How much is a treatment? Well, I haven't decided yet. When he did his treatment, he paid $550 for his one treatment with the guy who originated it, who hails from China, who then taught the person that I worked with. So he's the only person doing this treatment outside of China. So when we were talking, I was saying, I think 550 is a bit steep. So can we maybe start somewhere else? And so my initial thinking, what I said to people on the original thread, so I will honor that, is maybe it will be around, it'll be £150 where you can come to the workshop, and that will include your treatment, and then a different price, I don't know, £75 or something, just to come to the workshop to learn more about it. And he's not just going to be talking about the treatment, he's also going to be talking about some incredible natural remedies that you can use to detox and heal the body. Fascinating stuff, and a lot of them come in at less than the £20 mark to do for yourself, which I absolutely love as well. So I've said to the people who are conversing in the original thread, it'll be £150 for the workshop and your treatment. That's the inclusive price. But in terms of pricing, etc., because he has been doing this abroad thus far, I'm not going to say any more on that with regards to pricing, but he will be offering individual sessions also as a treatment. I'm also kind of trying to wheedle my way to kind of go, can you do a special deal for my clients? All you need to do is say, you know, where did you hear about it? Marilyn Devonish told me about it, and he will do a special price for you guys, who are my kind of clients and customers and in membership group, etc. So I'm not going to say too much more on price on that front, but for the people I've already spoken to in the 2 threads that we had running, it will be £150 to attend for the workshop and to have your treatment. That will be inclusive. And just before I finish off, just for the people who are here later, let me just put that one back on the screen, so you can see what we've been talking about. You know, I've had a back issue since I was, you know, 20. It didn't show itself until I was 25, 26, 20, something like that. But when it did show itself, it came with full force, and it's something that I have just worked around and maintained for the last coming up to 30 years. And I had one treatment this week with somebody who's doing, I've never seen this treatment before, and I've seen a lot of stuff, trust me. And this was the result of what I was able to do before in terms of my ability to mobilize my neck and my back. And that is the after picture. And I have to tell you, I'm looking at the picture now, because when I was younger, when I was a child, you know, early teens, I could do the crab, you know, where you bend backwards and you put your hands on the floor, and then I could even flip my legs over and stand upright. I've not been able to get into the position you can see in this picture for at least a decade, if not longer. And so looking at the when I'm doing it, I have no concept of where I'm at in terms of, but when I'm looking at the picture now, I'm like, geez, it's been at least 10 years, if not longer, since I've been able to do that. And that was after one treatment. And, you know, with a few breaks between, because number one, it bloody hurt. And number two, I wanted to ask questions. Well, so what are you doing now? Why are you doing this? And why are you hitting there? And what are you doing? What? So I'm asking loads of questions as well. But that was the net result after my first treatment. So yes, if any of you have suffered and are in pain, you're living with pain, and you would like to have a way to get your mobility back, and, you know, in terms of, you know, even, I know it doesn't look like much, but just to be able to look at the ceiling and do that, I haven't been able to do that for years. And there's something, you know, it's one of the positions we do in ballet, just that the basic bar work, one of the things, you do your plie and then you kind of take the arm up and you bend back. I haven't been able to do that. I'm sort of like this, you know, I can just about see in front of me. I've not been able to look straight up at the ceiling. So pretty miraculous for me. Really excited to bring this to you all. So if you are in the membership group, please head over, watch the video, read what I've said about the treatment, and then once the dates are definitely, you know, I'd say we're 80% sure it's going to be the 23rd and or the 24th. But once they're definitely confirmed, the link will go into the membership group first. You guys got first dibs on getting an individual treatment. And after that, I'll put it out on my main Facebook page on the threads where we've been conversing about it first. So you get to see it before everyone else, and then I'll put it on my main page. But yeah, if you're interested, you can drop me an email as well. It's marilyn@transformationstm.com. Marilyn is Marilyn at trans, TRANCE, formations, FORMATIONS, TM as in trademark. So Marilyn at transformationstm.com. You can also see the spelling of transformations on the banner on the screen. And you can drop me an email, put, you know, pain relief, something with the word pain in the subject line, because that's what I'll be searching for rather than trying to trawl through every email, because I get like 350 emails a day. So put pain in the subject line, I'll search on that. And then once I publicly release the booking form, I'll kind of let you know via email as well. So thank you for watching. Thank you for joining me. And you know, if flexibility has been an issue for you, or pain and loss of mobility, etc., then watch this space. And what I'll probably also do is come back to this video as well, and I will add the link to the description of the video. I'll add it to the comments of the video. So if you are interested, you might want to comment on the video, and it means that when I post the link, it will automatically, Facebook will then alert you that I've added something to the conversation thread, and I'll put the link in where you can actually book a session for yourself. So that's it. Just wanted to give you guys an update, show you the before and after, let you see kind of how the treatment looks when you're mid-treatment as well. And we were laughing about it, saying, yeah, if you're going to like a party or a do and you're wearing like a revealing dress, this is not the time to do the treatment, because of course, you know, I showed you the picture of my shoulder, how it looked initially. As I said, it's taken about 2 days, and he said the rate of time it will take to heal, it could be a couple of hours, could be a couple of days, for some people it might be a couple of weeks. It then depends on how well your liver is working, because that's then what's going to be moving the toxins, because we bring them to the surface and then the body will help to eliminate them, and as it's eliminating, then, you know, the marks and the dry blood and toxins disappear from the surface of the skin. So cool. So yeah, any questions, any queries, you can put them in the thread, you can email me in the membership group. Go and watch the video of the treatments. You can see exactly what it is and what it entails, such that when I do put the link out, you guys are ready to either go, yes, I'm in and I want a treatment, or no, I'm not. And then from there, I'll, you know, put it out on my Facebook page, and I'll probably do eNewsletter, the thread, and then kind of put it publicly. Cool. Well, thank you so much for watching. And if you know anyone who is in chronic pain, or working through it, or, you know, it's inhibiting their performance, or, you know, we said with the bodybuilders and all that sort of stuff, when they're in competition mode, and when the athletes are in competition mode, it's absolutely brilliant for that, because you can actually do it, you know, on the spot and get the mobility back. So if you know anyone who would benefit from being able to do those things, then feel free to share this video with them as well, so that I can also keep them posted for when he flies back into the UK. So thank you for watching. Marilyn Devonish, over and out.